This isn't even their final form.
And we won't see that probably ever again. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's awesome to see.
No matter what, we're gonna be rich.
Yeah, okay. I see that.
It's certainly interesting.
Wait, what now?
Oh,
my
Eagle!
God. Well then.
Oh my god.
They came in the right order too.
Red, 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 red.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what now? Oh, yeah.
Alright, we're live, boys.
What's up, THL? Welcome to Team Rank Tavern Talk. I'm Cassidy14. Our humble host here is MB Parker. And joining us, fighting the good fight of living life with no hands, we also have Mange. How you guys doing?
That's pretty good. We didn't have like 15 seconds of dead air this time.
I missed the dead air.
So our drinking rules tonight, pretty simple stuff. We have Power Rankings Power Hour, which means you should just never put the bottle down. When your team gets ranked, you should take an extra big gulp. And every time we cue one of your we A one of your cues, you should also be taking a drink. At this point, we also want to announce that we are looking to bring back the guest segment here on Tavern Talk. It was kind of one of our favorite things about the early versions of the show. And that's just where we get some people, captains, players, content creators, etc. People that may not have a very visible face in THL. We get them on here, we interview them, and we have them join us for the Q&A. So if you're interested in that, shoot us a PM, tag us on Discord, message us on Facebook. Just kind of harass us in every way possible so that we know you're interested and we can start kind of building a guest schedule, because that's a lot of fun and I miss it a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
I guess we dive into the 1 week that was. THL season's already going. Talk to us about how the defending champs came out of the gates here, Parker.
Oh, the defending champs came out of the gate a little slow. They had a good week. They put up, what, 12 points in a loss, which is definitely respectable, but they couldn't quite get there with Slimch taking down Brewski, D-Lineman beat JB, and Crackshot, the Smoked Salmon Prodigy, took down Scritch.
Yeah, I mean, Slimch wins. That happens, right?
Yeah. Slimch is pretty good.
And it turns out D-Lineman may have been appropriately rated after all, PogChamp.
Oh shit, boys. So the takeaway here that's really interesting for me is that Sage did end up getting a win in the 3 seed for Hearthstone Academy. Now he beat THL newcomer JR Juggernaut, who we have absolutely no idea about, but still really encouraging if you are Hearthstone Academy to know that your question mark 3 seed could end up taking home a W in week 1. I think that's a pretty nice silver lining, because Brewski and JB, those guys are going to be rock solid for you all season long. You're not too concerned about a week 1 result with them losing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and the other good news is, I mean, when you score 12 points, even when you lose, kind of like what Parker was alluding to, you're right there. It doesn't hurt. The final standings at the end of the season, you're not going to be looking back at this week and saying, gosh, dang it, this is why we lost our season. So it's not a big deal to drop this if you're Hearthstone Academy. It's kind of a cool little barometer to know that your team has to still be pretty solid, because Valkyrie, according to everybody, has one of the better rosters in the league, and you played them really tight, so you got to feel good about it.
Yeah.
There was another match that was awfully smelly. Mange, can you tell me about that one?
Oh, I think you're probably referring to the Defiance Brotherhood taking out the Poo People in a 13-8 matchup. Is that the one that you're talking about?
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Last I saw, there was a bunch of flies swarming around that match.
God.
Yeah. So 4 out of the 5 matchups were sweeps, which you don't really see too often in Conquest. It's really hard to sweep. But we had G-Nets, Hockey Boys, and AO all take home 3-0 sweeps for Defiance Brotherhood, which ended up being the difference.
Yeah, sweeps are super, super valuable. Because when you're sweeping, you're not only scoring your 4 points, you're denying your opponent any points. And I believe, yes, those teams are in the same division. So, like, those sweeps are extra important. And it gets Defias up to a double the point total of the poo people really early on.
Yep.
Meanwhile, everybody else in purple is kind of like silently thanking Defias, because it's just further distance you're putting between yourself and the poo people, who are, in fact, in the shitter 1 week into the season.
Oh God. Oh.
They have the least amount of points of any team not named to the Hombres.
So
Yeah, that's
looking
enough.
at the like individual matchup, individual results, anything stand out to you guys that like is really interesting to you maybe?
Yeah, I was really shocked to see our hat get swept. But like I was shocked seeing in the results, but watching the play, our hat definitely left a little to be desired if you watched it. I know I watched it with D Lineman, and me and him had a good talk about it, and there was a lot of things that our hat could have done differently. So I don't know, maybe our hat hasn't been playing as much, or maybe he's not as familiar with the meta. I'm not sure, but that result surprised me.
So you on Tavern Talk right now are saying that Ridiculous Hat played like dog shit,
Yeah, he played.
or at least he played like poo.
If the
He
boot
played a
fits,
little pooey.
Oh, man, feels bad.
he didn't quite squeeze out
Like,
every ounce of his ability.
That's what was surprising for me there, because I know Ridiculous Hat's a really good player, and it was out of character play for him. Every time I've watched Hat play, he's a really good player. So that was
Yeah.
surprising.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I myself was really surprised to see AO sweep Rock Base. AO now has an extended history of success in this league, so I'm definitely not surprised to see him win necessarily. But I do think that Rock Base is going to be a really solid 5 seed. So to see that kind of sweep is pretty interesting. I wonder if maybe it's a lineup issue or a ban issue. Maybe it's just it's just tough luck. Like that shit can happen too.
Yeah, how do you guys feel about the Joe HS and Hockey Boys? Those are the two SHL newcomers, right? Came from SHL. How do you feel they did? Hockey Boys swept Mojo Pal, and Joe HS got swept by Zeroshio.
So sounds like they went even then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, theoretically. Hockey Boys was about an 80-point PR favorite, and about 90. And Joe HS was about a 60 PR point favorite.
Yeah.
I'm definitely really interested in watching. I mean, I've mentioned this several times. Interested in seeing how they do from this season on, just because it's interesting to see some kind of cross league play and how it translates and how it matches up and stuff. So I don't know. I think first week you can't be too upset, right? I mean, your team walked away with the win.
Yeah.
Those guys, they did okay, all things considering. So just looking forward to next week.
Yeah, I would totally agree with all of those points. Definitely watching those two going forward.
Yeah, they're kind of like the duo on that team to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I agree.
And then we had one other marquee matchup we wanted to review. Feels awkward, man, to be talking about it in that way. But Team Rank 5 did manage to beat Supreme by a final score of 15-11. It was a really tight series. We saw Jesus returning to his MVP type form, picking up a win after he struggled last season. Rogue JT continues to pick up where he left off as a 5 seed player in THL. He won again. And a little bit of a surprise, huge surprise if you're Mage. Parker managed to take down Cheesy 10. So that was where the points came from. I myself lost to Bad Shops. He beat the shit out of me. That guy's a really good player. Lookout League. And Smoked Salmon lost to Dr. Jinky Nicky. No surprise there, reigning NA champion. So it was a really good series. Supreme kind of came into the season as the consensus #1. So seeing them struggle out of the gate was a little surprising, but you have to think they're going to figure it out and right the ship and be there at the end.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Supreme is really good, and I don't really think a whole lot of this series. Nothing really means a whole lot, except that I expect Jesus and Rogue to both do very well this season, and they did well this week. So that's just kind of the takeaway that I would have from that week.
I feel the same way about this as I did like HSA losing. Like Supreme put up 11 losing, so you're never really that mad anytime you can put up like over 10 in a loss. It's not the worst loss.
Worth noting that the big game hunter himself, Detective Diamond, became the hunted as the beast known as Jesus slayed him.
Oh, fuck me.
God.
Can we move on?
Yeah. We're gonna move to the power rankings now. We're gonna do it a little differently. There's no long podcast type thing to go with it. There's no article. We're gonna give you our 20 just in order on the screen right now. And just hit us with feedback in chat. We can probably respond to a little bit of it as we just kind of walk through what's going on. If you guys want to go top to bottom, I guess since everybody there's really no suspense with who starts on top.
Yeah, let's just go top to bottom. Whatever.
All right, so coming in at number 1, it's rigged. Dan's game. Team rank 5 is on top. Of the teams that won and the quality of opponents they beat, and based on where they were to start the season, Team rank 5 kind of checked all the boxes. So we're on top for a week, maybe. I mean, these are still so volatile, but it seemed like the logical choice. Number 2 was Valkyrie. They took down Hearthstone Academy. The community seemed to rate them very, very high coming into the season. I think we actually had them rated lower than most other people did coming in. And they beat the defending champs, quality victory. So they come in at number 2. And then it gets a little interesting here. Like we're going to see people, oh my God, Supreme lost and they're number 3. How? Why don't you guys kind of explain why Supreme isn't going to drop from 1 to 16 in a week?
Well, because 1 week doesn't really matter that much. They lost. They lost to a team that the community thought was the second best team in the league. And what everyone, it was kind of the consensus second best team for, power rankings from everyone. So, 1 week you don't put a whole lot of stock into that. And like we see in chat, Darkseid says, and at 4 clear bias. I don't think it's clear bias just because there's right now, I think that there's absolutely zero difference between 1 and 4. It's just this is just kind of the order we have for our 1 week sample size of week 1. I don't think anyone is saying that means Team Rank 5 would beat everyone here and Valkyrie would beat everyone that's not Team Rank 5. It's just kind of the order. I think very clearly the top 4 are kind of in a different league of their own right now compared to the rest.
Yeah, that's probably where I draw my line. I might even go 5.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, you could argue that it's 5.
But yeah, they lost to another top team in the league. Not too surprising to see him hold tight for early. It's really hard. Everyone has to understand the first 3 or 4 weeks. Especially the first week or 2. It's really hard. We're just kind of putting names where we think they belong, and we don't really know how these teams are going to perform. Super small sample sizes, so.
Yeah, you just make the best guess you can, especially in week 1. So, what else we got? Next.
I just also wanted to point out Supreme had 3 people competing in the round before the bracket
Tavern
for
Hero.
Supreme Championship
sure.
last week. I mean,
Tavern
people
Hero.
playing in that.
Yeah.
The Tavern area.
So that team's going to be really good. We have Aeon at 4. It's worth noting we put Aeon at 4 under the assumption that they tied last week. I don't know if the discipline ruling that came down that made them win would have bumped them up to 3 with Supreme. I can't say for sure if it would have, but we put them at 4 under the understanding that they did tie.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
that's just we know that the matches got played. That there was not really any cheating, and all the matches getting played and it results in a tie. I'm just going to evaluate it like a tie, even though in the standings Aeon won, due to a DQ. So, maybe that's incorrect with me, but that's just the most information that we have,
Yeah, so this was a case of we looked at Aeon tying to a team we had fairly low in the rankings as opposed to Supreme losing to a team that was high in the rankings, so we valued Supreme's loss more than Aeon's tie. I think that's kind of it. But they're very close. Like Mange said, this is kind of a tier of its own.
Yeah, for sure.
Number 5, we've got Parker's team. Parker is the biggest cheerleader of this team, which is just so ironic and hilarious in so many ways. We have the Temporal Legends. Talk to us about them, Parker.
I don't know. I just think the Legends have a really solid team. Their team almost made the playoffs last season with the dynamic duo of Imbolc and Hector Howe just completely shitting the bed. So, like, if they just show up to their match and just do halfway decent this season, like 500, your boy Loch Ness H on top in the 1 seed will just backpack that team right to the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. And they had a huge week, didn't they?
Well,
They played the Hombres, so, like, yeah, they had a huge week, but,
not really.
they had a week. They played their matches.
They got them out.
They had 2 DQ wins, too. So, like,
Alright.
not super
Please
impressive.
move on. God damn it, please move on.
We've got Team Swagoy, 6. We had them pretty high to start. We had them right around here, and then they won. So this was not a hard place to put them because they had to be towards the top. They beat Noob Central. They scored 15. They did get 1 DQ win in the 1 seed, no less. But they performed well everywhere else. Anamore swept Vendy. Troy McClure put up 2 points in a loss. Brasky beat Gideon Echo. Doc McButt managed to score a point. They got the win on the back of the DQ, but Tom Locke was probably favored going into that match. So we put them at 6. 7 is the current division leading, second in the league in points, Team Golden Wisp. They got the job done. They came out and they beat Zenergy. Zenergy wasn't very highly regarded, so this was just kind of like a refresher to see that they beat the team they should beat. They won 4 out of 5 matches, but you can't really have them jump up very high beating a team like Zenergy to start the season. 8 is our boys over at Defias that we just kind of got done recapping their win over the Poo People. We had the middle of the road. We kind of said early on that if you're judging a team on whether or not they're going to make the playoffs, this feels like the team you're judging them against. This feels like a right borderline playoff type of roster, and that's kind of where they're at in the rankings to show that. The defending champs, 1 week into the season, have fallen to 9 in the power rankings. I can't think of a time this has ever happened. We've been doing the power rankings a while at this point too. At least somebody has.
Yeah, I think it's hard for them. The PR cap definitely did its job, and they played a really good team. So it's really hard to say, was it like they barely lost to like one of the best teams in the league, or like did the PR cap really do its job and they're not quite as good. But I think after their performance and where we had them, I think this is about where they land.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely an argument to be made, for them being higher considering their opponent and their overall performance. I just, if you're a Hearthstone Academy supporter on the team and you feel like you're too low, just remember that it's week 1 and these things are going to be, more volatile and a lot can happen. It's early, so.
Rounding out the top 10, we have the Nagas with Attitude. They were a tie against the new team, always top deck Lethal. And so they fell 2 points because they didn't win. They tied a new team. And it just kind of felt like that was a matchup they should have won, especially when you look at the Pink Samus matchup where he was swept by Echo, the newcomer. I'm personally a pretty big believer, I know you guys are too, that you shouldn't get swept in Conquest, hardly ever, if ever. And you look at this match, and I think that's where you just really wish they had gotten one more point, because you get that point, you win the match.
Yep.
So we bumped them down a couple spots. We still don't know enough about ATL to kind of say, oh, they lost to a really good team. But we also don't know enough about ATL to say they lost to a really bad team, so they just kind of fit here, rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, I would say the other teams leapfrog them more than they, fell.
Yeah.
Like, there was just some really impressive performances ahead of them, and
True.
we kind of rewarded them. And, NWA, they did okay. Like, as they always tend to do. They're always just good.
Yeah, they're
They
solid.
they have a really good chance to bounce back this week. We'll get into that, but they play Valkyrie. So
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
Pog champ.
All right.
Speaking of tying ATL, we put ATL at 11. We have them here in the middle because we don't know a whole lot about them, and they tied a perennially solid team, so they can't be god awful, you would think. So we threw them 11. And then number 12, I'm going to take a drink on behalf of my boy Dirty Mike.
and the boys.
They set up shop on that lawn, bitch, and they did not want to leave. So they take the win. They beat a team that we had pretty low to begin with in Get Off My Lawn. But they did it, I believe, in a fairly convincing. Yeah, they won 4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
The only loss was Magic Pants against Jing Buddha, and he was a PR underdog.
No,
But
yeah, Captain Eric O'Kee, he's showing everyone why he has a house.
Yeah. I'll also let the viewers in on a little discussion. There was a pretty solid argument made for this team to be a lot higher than they were.
Not by me. You can yell at me. I'm not a believer yet.
oh, I'm a believer. Mike, you just keep being dirty, buddy. I got your back. 13, we have Netherstorm. Netherstorm beat the new Prep Coin Concede. They put up 13 points in the win. They did pretty good. We didn't have either of these teams very high, and we still don't think we know a whole lot about them, so they come in at 13. Number 14 is Initium Novum. I don't know about you guys, but this is a team I just can't figure out.
I never know what this team is like.
I still can't. Yeah, they've been around now for about a full season worth of games, and I have absolutely no fucking idea because they're just so up and down.
Their highs are really high and their lows are really low.
On paper, without the DQ, they did tie Aeon, which is very impressive. But I don't know. Yeah, they're just kind of there for me. Like I still don't know what the fuck to think of them.
Yeah, we jinxed Appa. He got big game hunted.
Mm.
And that was the difference in the series. So shout out to Darkseid for a good win there.
Who is now unofficially crowned Big Game Hunter by Tavern Talk.
Yes.
You want to know what's funny? I'm just going to point this out. He wasn't even the biggest PR underdog that won this week.
Oh, really? Who was?
Asuna taking down Boom Boom Hall. 160-point underdog.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
So we have
snap.
some Big Game Hunter? He landed a dope fit, if you heard us say that.
There was a lot of hunting going on.
Yeah. So I just wanted to make everyone aware. He wasn't even the biggest PR underdog. I looked into it.
That's good to know.
Asuna, pew pew. Come out firing.
I wish I didn't disable the bot so I can bring in the Big Game Hunter sounds. Maybe next week.
I have it muted, thank God.
Oh, fuck. Okay, never mind. So, at 15, we have Prep Point Concede, who kind of got spanked.
Yeah. They got crushed.
Who did they play again? I don't have this on my notes.
They lost another storm. They
Yeah.
put up 10.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's right. Yeah, that's actually, I know I was much lower on Netherstorm than everyone else, but I don't think anyone had Netherstorm as being higher than, 12 or 13 in their power ranking, so that's kind of surprising to me.
Yeah, Chigmo got a sweep, and Gemini won 3-1, so that kind of salvaged the series a little bit. Tan and Grace was swept in his THL debut.
Blowback.
And there was a lot of blowback there. Gotcha, gasm. Necrotic got rolled over by Swanky Tiger 3-1, and Twiz, now 2-0 Twiz, spoilerino, won 3-1 over Eldorian.
It's a
So
dagger to the heart.
No, that's definitely not the best first match for Prep Point Concede, but
we've seen people bounce back from worse, I think.
oh, for sure. For sure.
It's not quite Phil's entropy, man. 16, we had the Noobs. I believe they lost. Yes,
Yeah.
they did.
The swag line.
Yes.
They also put in a DQ.
Yeah, they
And
lost and DQ, so we've got them down.
man. That's the double whammy.
like if you ever want to move down on the power rankings, lose while DQing. That'll throw you down.
So for New Central, Cutthroat and Ham both got victories over Troy McClure and Doc McButt respectively. But yeah, Vendy got swept. Gideon Echo lost 1-3 to Brasky, which I think is probably a minor upset. And of course, Smash DQing against Tom Walk feels bad, man.
For sure.
Feels bad.
17, we got that big steamer pile of poo that is the pod people. They were rocked hard by Defiance Brotherhood. Only managed 8 points, because they had 3 of their players get swept.
Yeah.
They won 2 matches and scored 8 points. That's really difficult to deal with. Shout out to Zeroshio and Direst Bear for bringing home the W. Slap on the wrist for Mojo Powell, Rockbase, and our hat, as none of them managed to put up a point.
Feels bad, man.
And then down at the bottom, we have Zenergy at 18. They lost. They are still trying to break this now, like 3 or 4 season-long curse of losing a lot. Not off to a good start. 19, we have Get Off My Lawn. Clint Eastwood didn't show up in time.
Rip.
And at 20, we have the Bad Hombres, whose visas are in jeopardy, from what I understand.
You're the worst.
Put up.
So bad. Just so bad.
They put up 4 points and had 2 DQs. Whew.
4 points.
Yeah.
Less than 1 point per player.
That is exactly Fields entropy, man.
Oh, that is right on the dot. So that's where we're at. That's the power rankings. There's not a whole lot to talk about. We can't really observe any trends or anything like that. We're still going to need a couple more weeks. So these are very volatile at the moment.
I mean, even when we have a lot of information, we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. So with one
Also
week,
true.
it's just like, here's some shit, here's a list. Have fun, league.
Yeah.
You want to do better? Here, take the job.
Shit sucks, man. It's hard. It's so hard. Like, I remember us doing it the first time, and like it felt so much easier, and it has progressively gotten harder and harder
Yeah,
as the
Yeah.
league is expanding.
the league got bigger, but also like this season as opposed to last, I feel like the quality is just a lot higher.
Yes.
There's a lot of very strong teams this season, which wasn't always the case for sure.
Yeah, I think this is one of the stronger seasons. I think last season was probably one of the weaker seasons. So there's definitely a major, not even a shift, but like an influx in power level,
Yeah.
team by team.
I agree.
So with that, we'll move on to week 2. We have a few major matches to preview, 3. The first one, I'm pretty hyped about this one. We have the Temporal Legends versus Aeon. Kind of like the barometer for the Legends, right? Like, are they contenders or are they pretenders? This is the week we find out.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's a big week for both teams because Aeon comes off a win, but it was really a tie, right? Like all things considered. So
They
Aeon's
earned a tie and they received a win. Yeah.
right. They're coming off not the most impressive week themselves, and then the Legends are coming off, beating the Hombres. So it's a good right. So it's a good week for both teams to prove themselves.
Wait, are you saying you're not still hearing the echo? It's not still rippling through your brain of their massive victory over the Hombres?
It'll be felt throughout the history of THL.
Same af. Yeah, I don't know. Like when you look at this matchup on paper, you think it favors. I don't even know. Like, who do you guys think it favors?
Oh, let me look at it and tell you instead of doing this and not doing my job. Hold on.
Let's see. Looking at the matchup, it's close. you got Markshire, who I think's probably favored in the 1, but Loch Ness is on fire, so who knows?
Is Loch Ness the 1 seed now?
Loch
Yep.
Ness is the
Oh,
1 seed
that's
now.
crazy.
Top Hat Demon, I would say, is favored in the 2 seed.
Yeah, I would think that's probably the biggest favored matchup any team has.
Yeah, but the 3 seed might be as big a favorite going the other way. I'd have to say Imbolc's a really big favorite here.
This is a matchup Imbolc loses
I
every
was gonna
time.
say.
Every fucking time. We're just in the bucket.
So if I had to pick it on paper, just purely on paper, I would say that. Oh fuck! This is hard.
Yeah, this matchup's really close.
You don't bet against Markshire like you don't bet against Cinch, right? Like that's just what you do. So you take Markshire for sure. Top Hat Demon I do like over Hector Howell, honestly. Just Top Hat Demon just has a far greater history of success recently. But I do have Imbolc beating Darkseid most of the time, although last time we picked against Darkseid, he beat Shadow Appa, so this is going to be fueling him again. Phoebus and Follow Durden, that's a 1-point spread in PR right there. That's really interesting. Both of them are, I think, pretty good players. Phoebus has now a multiple season history of success. Durden's still trying to find his footing, but we know him to be a good player. I think he took out Brisky and Wicked Wednesday yesterday, so we know that Durden's pretty solid. I have no idea. And then I think the Anarchist beats the Town Drunk most of the time. So I guess it in my eyes it comes down to the Follow Durden Phoebus match. If you think that Markshire, Top Hat Demon are going to win, and then Imbolc and Anarchist are going to win on Temporal Legends side, it comes down to the 4 seeds, right? This is a really interesting matchup.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you on that, and I think Phoebus takes it here, so if I had to pick it, I'd pick the Legends.
If I was a betting man, and I'm certainly not, I would bet Aeon, but I think it's very close.
I think it's super close. If someone wants to do just the big balls play, pick this matchup in your Survivor pool. That's the big balls play right there.
As long as nobody plays tonight, I think I'm going to.
Oh, attaboy.
I mean, everybody else has a match played.
Wait, what are you doing?
I think I'm just gonna go all in on the Survivor pool on week 2.
Cassidy announcing he doesn't want to do Survivor anymore for this year.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I won't. There's a lot of matches to choose from, and that one feels like a coin flip.
It's super close. Alright, so moving on. Who do we got next? NWA and Valkyrie. PogChamp.
Oh yeah, we have the Nagas with attitude against Slimsh and D Lineman. If you've ever seen attitudes, you got to get those two in the same room in Discord together.
Is that? I wasn't paying attention to my own show.
Perfect. NWA and Valkyrie.
Oh, that's exciting. Let's do this.
So let's see. NWA is coming off their tie week 1, 13-point tie, and Valkyrie is coming off putting up 19 points against the defending champs. So if NWA is looking to continue their ways of success, Pink Samus has to bounce back, right?
Absolutely. A bad season for Pink Samus is a really bad season for NWA. My opinion. But he's going against D Lineman. Like that, this is a rough week to need to bounce back.
Yeah, it sure is. And then we got Knackle going up against the new JR Juggernaut, who lost last week. So you probably have to say Knackle's favorite there. Tony?
Yeah, I'm interested because the new guy and Juggernaut is going up against the veteran, the grizzled Salt. You know, we know what Salt is as a THL player. We know he's solid. So Juggernaut's performance here will tell us a lot more about him, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, so you got Force of Will going against Loomer. Loomer.
Well, that's Lemur, so you know Force of Will's favored.
Yeah.
And then you got Big Boy Drudded, who has come up, I want to say like 200 PR, not
Yeah.
200, like 150 in the last few seasons, against Crackshot, the boy wonder. If you talk to Smoke Salmon,
The Smoked Salmon Prodigy himself.
the prodigy himself. He's had success. He had a decent season last season. He won last week. But you have to think Drudded's favored there too.
Oh, let's everyone pause for a moment and celebrate our very first tier donation by Mark Shire, donating 1 cent to THL.
Oh,
boy.
Pog champ.
Thanks, Mark Shire. You're
Thanks
the best.
for the
buddy.
penny.
Pay to win Dan's game.
And then we're coming in with a hot. We have
Oh,
two
Tim from Tim's team just wouldn't let the spotlight be off him for very long, would he?
THL's funding their new website. 1 penny at a
now,
time.
now we're in a bidding war, boys. Now we're in the THL.
Oh, yeah. We need a biggest D line like all the chick streamers have.
Oh, you're probably right. We totally do.
Biggest D, so you get all these kids just comparing the size of their organs.
Oh boy.
All right, let's get back to the match.
Let's get back to it while they have their bidding war because it's getting nuts.
All right,
Oh, this is fun.
so if you're looking at the power rankings and you're, with everyone else, and you think that Valkyrie is the favorite here, if NWA wants to pull off the quote unquote upset, where do they have to pick up wins? What seeds?
Yeah, so they have to pick up a win. Where the fuck is this matchup?
Oh, 3, 4, 5 if NWA wants to win. I think that's the pretty easy path.
Yeah.
If you're Valkyrie, you're just hoping that the first 2 seeds hold serve and then somebody down the line just picks up a win where they technically, according to PR, shouldn't.
I agree. I think it's the 3,
It's
4,
it's
5.
one of those rare weeks where if you're either team, you feel good going into the week.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if you're NWA, you need to rely on the guy that's been carrying your team for 3 seasons now, and Pink Samus. You want him to get the upset over D Lyman, and if that happens, you probably feel okay. And also, no pressure, Salt, but like Salt can't lose this week.
Yeah, I would agree.
He has to beat the THL unknown and JR Juggernaut. Like I think that has to happen for him to win. So
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you.
We go to our final previewed match. We have ATL, Hotlanta, versus Team Golden Wisp. And Team Golden Wisp, they came out of the gates hot this season. And I think
sure
that's
did.
kind of been a struggle of theirs in other seasons, is they kind of limp out of the gate and then they're playing catch up. And this season, it looks like they don't have to do that.
Spoiler, they're coming in hot week 2. The Fly Slay already picked up a 3-1 win against DZB from ATL.
Aw, DZB, you're killing me, buddy.
wait, what happened?
The Golden Wisp was already up 4-1. Fly Slay picked up the 3-1 win against DZB.
I don't know who that guy is, but he seems good.
Yeah, seems solid. He's a 500 PR player already.
Oh,
He is
shit.
now.
Yep, after his win.
Yeah, so that already spells a lot of trouble for ATL because I think it's becoming less of a secret finally that WW Los is one of the better players in the league.
I agree.
And he's got a sizable favoredness over Echo.
But Echo had a hell of a week
Alec
1.
did he? Who did he
Yeah,
beat?
he beat Pink Samus. The perennial. The dude's lost
True.
3 matches in 3 seasons.
Yeah, this is definitely a step up, though, you would think.
Yeah, it for sure is. But dude's coming out of the gate swinging.
And then maybe this is the season where you finally start to feel how unfair it is to have Alec in your 3 seed.
Yeah.
Because you'll have the 2 seed above him to kind of support him being down there and just wrecking fools. He's playing against Blake Hall, who's a 372 PR, and we know how good Alec is. Alec's been good for a long time. He runs a podcast about the game. He hits Legend every season. He's super involved, super nice guy, and he's really tough to beat. So, just looking at WW Los and Alec, you feel really good for Golden Wisp. But then you go to the 4 seed, and if you're ATL, you're counting on a win there. R. Kaiser's a 150 PR favorite over Asuna.
Asuna took down 160 last week. If she takes down 150 this week, crown her. Crown or the
True.
big game hunter.
True. I mean, how fun would it be to see Asuna and Darkseid just go toe for toe all season on big game hunting? You know,
Just hunting them.
just hunting them down.
How many fucking big game hunter awards are we giving out in this show?
Oh, we're giving them all out.
We're just giving them all out.
We're
I
just
mean,
handing
those
them out
two,
candy
like-
around here.
I'm gonna say we already have 2 finalists.
All right. Well, we need to
Kappa.
have you. We need to have you unmute the bot. And next week, every time someone mentions his name, I'm putting that command in so we can have it on screen.
We'll make it a
yeah.
drinking rule and get knuckle hammered.
Yeah, we need these cards more now that we have that
We
capability.
do. We do. Let's fucking do this, boys. Production value. But yeah. That's definitely an interesting matchup for sure.
And then the other one, you have Sunshine, the new and improved Sunshine. Yeah, after the season he had last season, and he's already off to a good start again. Playing against Slime Guy. You have to think he's favored there. So if you're Team Golden Wisp, you have 3 really good matchups, and you have to win 2 of them
I
from
would
this
say,
point on.
I'd say the up and down Sunshine, right? Like he started off 5-0 last season and then ended like 5-4.
6-3, but yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I know it was something in that range.
But last season going 6-3, this season 1-0.
Yeah.
I'm ready to call him. I'm ready to call him the up Sunshine, even with that rough little 4-week stretch in there.
Yeah.
Let's be up Sunshine.
I get hammered without the rules. I believe you, Nick.
Yeah.
I believe you, buddy. Yeah, I hear the cap being popped right now.
Oh man, I miss those in board meetings.
So that's it for that, and it is Survivor Challenge.
Oh, hold on.
time.
Let's pick. If you're picking, who you picking?
Oh, in all 3 of these matchups?
No, we already picked 2 of them, but the Team Golden Wisp and ATL. Who you going
Oh,
with?
I'm taking TGW every time.
Man,
Yeah, I think Golden West, baby.
You know, I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna say the boys ATL are gonna come off their big tie and just bring it home. You know, they're down a little bit, but they can bring it back. It's not over.
I like that, man. I love their name and their concept behind it. It's fucking cool shit. So much like more creative than Team Rank 5.
Yeah, no shit. You guys go first. I'm gonna figure out who I want to pick.
Okay.
The rundown.
Is that what you want me to?
Yeah, give them the rundown. Man.
Okay. I'll give you boys a rundown. So Survivor Week. Every week you pick the team that you think you're gonna win. You can't use teams that you have already used in previous weeks. So you couldn't just like pick the Patriots every week. That'd be against the rules. And for THL edition of Survivor Pool, you cannot pick a team that has a result already in. And we are keeping these tallies on a spreadsheet. We'll post them and update them every week in the Facebook group. And at the end of the season, whichever person lasted as most weeks wins. They get our love and adoration because we have no prize.
Yep, that's right.
Unless someone wants to sponsor a prize, maybe talk after. But yeah, so that's the rules. And I am looking through who I want to pick. This shit is hard,
Yeah, it is.
especially because there's so many fucking results in.
There's a
You
lot
need
of
to
results.
actually make these picks in the spreadsheet
We do.
before.
Get in there.
Yeah.
Swing the bat.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the Poo People over Nuke Central.
Oh, that's a big pick for a team that only scored 8 points last week.
Yeah, but I am a believer in Hat as a captain. And Nave is very absent, and he's way too busy for this THL shit.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding about Nave. He's definitely not absent, but I don't know. I think that long-term strategy, the Poo People aren't going to have a better matchup. At any point this season. So get them out of the way now. And also, they're like one of the only teams that don't have a fucking result in.
Yeah, there's a lot of results in. I'm gonna swing for the fence here, boys. Might be out. But I'm gonna believe in my boy G-Nets and Defias to take down the champs. The champs are going 0-2. We're going with them. Bring it home, G-Nets. I'm gonna go with Defias.
Oh, I didn't figure that out yet. All right, the pick is in.
Who you got, buddy? That's a big pick. Going with the dog.
Echoes of this victory are going to ripple throughout THL history as the Paladins of the past find a way to beat Aeon.
Oh, there's already a result then? Oh, I might have to pick mine. Different one. I don't see a result. I don't.
It's in, but you didn't know about it, so you're good.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
It also goes against.
It
your
goes
pick,
against
so
me. God
who
damn it.
cares?
Wait, what? Who did you just pick?
I picked
You picked
Defias,
Defias.
but I hadn't refreshed, so there wasn't a result on my page. Apparently, there's a result in.
I'm gonna allow it.
Yeah, because it's against me, you cuck.
I also am going to
You
allow
should go
it.
back.
God dang it! All right, I'm
Alright,
in.
You made your pick. Sorry.
G-Nets, bring it
Roll to
home,
the
buddy.
roll. No, I mean, if you want to change, I think then you should be allowed to, even though it does.
Nah, I'm gonna keep it.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
keep
lock it in. YOLO.
Okay.
All right, so Mange, who did you go with? One more time.
I went with the 2 people.
You went with the Poo People.
Yeah.
Parker, you went with Defias, and I went with the Temporal Legends, and I immediately regret this decision.
Same. Your team doesn't have a loss.
True.
All right, let's move on to the Q&A where you guys asked a lot of really shitty questions. But I can't blame you guys all entirely. I forgot the Q&A completely, and so I'm screwed it up like last
Yeah,
time.
listen to you admonishing our question askers when you didn't even put up a fucking thing.
Oh, Mange, are you ready for this question?
Absolutely, I have
All
my.
right, I'm
mind
going to give
up.
you the lead. Ben Goodman, our president-elect himself, says, if you were looking to successfully compete in the spring playoffs, and by that he obviously means get eliminated early so you can eat at B-dubs, which flavor of delicious Buffalo Wild Wings would you order?
Well, actually, I don't know if you know this or not, but for some fucking reason, almost all of the hosting sites for prelims in this season are taking place at a Buffalo Wild Wings. So
Yeah, I
you get
saw
to
that.
play and eat your wings for some reason. But you obviously always go with the medium size, which gives you 3 flavor options. Okay? And the flavors that you go every single time:
Oh, boy.
Parmesan garlic,
Oh, I love you.
you go Thai curry.
No,
No.
no.
And you go Asian zing.
That's a quality pick.
That shit is so good. And then you get a tiny bit of mango habanero on the side for your french fries, because you're not going to ever put that shit in your wings. Your asshole can't take it, but it's still a really nice flavor to lightly dip in your fries. Not your fries, your fries.
Oh,
That is
I'm all
the
on board.
Buffalo Wild Wings pick.
All right, here's mine.
Oh, give it to me.
The Asian zing, I'm with it. I'm all about it. I'm a normie, so I get mild. Because, you know, I'm just a normie.
Oh, Jesus
I think it's pretty good.
Christ. Well, you don't want to burn your tongue now.
And if you're going to B-dubs, you gotta get the fried pickles. I'm all about it.
Oh,
Fuck, this
I'm on
isn't
board.
perusing the menu. This is picking a goddamn wing flavor.
Yeah, I gave you wing flavors, but I'm telling you, while you're there, order the fried pickles.
Oh my god.
The ultimate nachos are also highly recommended.
I mean, they have like a really good like prime rib burger, I think. But you know, you go there.
Alright. Let's break down some wing flavors, because I can tell you I've tasted them all.
Please do.
Alright, so Mange, he hit the nail on the head. If I'm getting ready to play some Hearthstone, I'm not trying to think about my intestines. I'm not trying to think about not touching myself in the eyeball. So I'm staying away from the spicy stuff pre-game. So I'm coming in hot with the Parmesan garlic. If you have not had Buffalo Wild Wings Parmesan garlic, you haven't lived. It's
It's
quality.
very good.
There is so much flavor with so little spice. I mean, you don't understand how it works, but it works. But after I get swept because I don't belong in prelims to begin with, I'm going to the opposite end of the spectrum. And this is the hottest flavor that still has some flavor to it. And that's wild. You're getting like 4 boneless or 6 normal wild wings because after getting eliminated from prelims, you're going to go wild that night. So you get some wild, you get your tongue going, you feel good. But I have to say, after the wild, you want to come back down with a little bit of variety in your life, and Main shit it here too. Asian Zing is a quality pick. You get some sweet, you get some spicy, you're feeling good. It goes good with just about any beer there. It's a good pick. But the single best wing sauce that I have ever tasted, and maybe will ever taste, is the Buffalo Wild Wings spicy garlic. Spicy garlic, man. Oh, if you haven't had it, you got to try it. It goes good with any beer. If you're into like the light Budweiser shit, or if you're into quality beer, it's just a good flavor. And it's a nice happy medium. You get a lot of flavor, you get a lot of heat, and oh man, I love me some spicy garlic. So I'd probably end with like a dozen of those.
Okay, I've actually never had spicy garlic. I meant to get them Saturday because I got wings for Saturday raid as tradition, and then I forgot about spicy garlic. So this Saturday, I will remember, and I will report back.
Oh, you're going to be so happy you did. To answer Sage, who wants to know if I'm a BWW shill, I have been eating out at Buffalo Wild Wings since I was about 7 years old. Because my mom went to college in a town where Buffalo Wild Wings was like this college eat out place. And that was before they like blew up like nationally that they have now. And so we used to go all the time in my childhood, and man, I love it. I'm really sad at what it's become.
Now,
They sold out.
I've never done the blazing because I really don't like the super spicy shit.
Yeah, it's not that great.
But, or whatever you said. I'm sorry, the wild. The wild. I've never done that. I have done blazing. Have you done the mango habanero? Because that shit is lit.
Yeah, it's not bad. I like Asian Zing more though.
Okay, fair enough. Fucking Parker over here, this goddamn fried pickles.
Oh, dude, fried pickles are lit.
I should also say, I typed it in chat, but I did go to college in the city where the original BW3s is.
Like, B-Dub's fried pickles are okay, but Hooters has really good fried pickles. Like, they're lit. But their wings are, like, not that great.
Alright. I'll keep that in mind. Do we have any other...
No, that
That's
was it.
literally the only cue we have today.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Alright, we have 2 things left, though. One, public service announcement about the, don't spectate your teammate.
Read the rules, people.
Yeah, just go read the rules. Like everybody that's watching this, go read the rules before your match.
No, they're actually mostly brand new. Flinch and D Lineman did a really good job writing up some new rules for us. We all walked them over, and if you haven't done that for this season, I highly recommend you go read the rules and familiarize yourself with them.
2, second thing. If that bottom right corner, if you want to be there next week, message me. I don't care on what. Email me, Tinder me, Grinder me, I don't care, whatever. Message me somehow. Let it be known you want to be on here.
Parker's on Grinder confirmed.
Our preference is to have a new face, someone that's new to the league or maybe isn't in the public spotlight a lot. But we'll take anyone if our options are limited, even Markshire. So.
Yep. So if you want that to be you, message me. God dang. See, Parker says he'll message me on Grinder. Okay.
Yeah. I already talked to Parker on Grinder. It says M bulk.
All right, for the first time ever, let's set. First time ever. It's first time for everything. Mange, you got any closing thoughts?
You just gonna end the stream because that's what you should do.